This is a map of the tri-state area. And in this, it's showing you where the mound people are. There's a city when you go on the expressway and you see it, and it's on my web space. RBI, it's done for me. We've actually visited these mounds. And one thing is, you don't have to go all these places. You can go right up there in Woodlawn, where that Kroger site is, where the Kroger store is, Plaza, and there is a mound there, mound site there in zone 15. Lincoln Heights is one of the sovereign areas in this country, in the heartland of America. The other areas are the valleys. What is a valley? They call it in the English Gentile dales, like Springdale, Evendale, etc. I've explained that before. Now, this great Miami Valley, all this stuff that's dealing with this here, and right up in Chillicothe, Ohio. Chillicothe, Ohio, they talk about a mound. That's where I was at in Chillicothe, Ohio, with one of my beautiful sisters, and and I were walking, and all these insects came out of nowhere and built a wall to stop us from going there. And then we left from that one site and still in the mound site. We went to another area, and as we went there, a tunnel wind began to come, and we're like, hey, I know now we're on sacred grounds. We just need to respect and lead, because our spirit is carrying it, and maybe there's a form of communication, I don't know. But I do know we need to just step. So here we are in the sacred ground of Ohio, Indiana, and northern Kentucky, with a part of West Virginia. Now, that's why they call it the tri-state. But see, they ignore this one part here, even though there's Pittsburgh there. But Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, excuse me. And yeah, okay, all right. No, okay, all right. But then here, there's 4. And these 4 are the areas of the mounds. And these are the people there. But right in the heartland, when you're dealing with the greater Cincinnati area, there is so many mounds and Indian hills here that it is astonishment that you know that these things exist. And one of the top areas that they had in this greater Cincinnati area is they built the homes of the extreme wealthy there. And they called it, in tribute, Indian Hill. This is the history. Miami Valley, Anderson Township, what they call themselves? Redskins, Indians. But see, we know that there's more involved. They know that this area here, Southwestern Ohio, Lincoln Heights with its 13 going once and twice, they're at a small mountain. Lincoln Heights is a sovereign area. Lincoln Heights, Zone 15. Understand this. Now, these are, oh, somebody's connected to me. Okay. Well, you don't need to be connected to me. I don't need to go nowhere with them. Now, there is a river. Let's see if I can pull that up. Oh, no, that's a male phallic. While I'm on that one, I'll just tell you what that is. Before the male phallic, these were stones, and they had Fubu, the big woman that's on the 13th, warrior. The male phallic went from this and the stones in India, I've been there, all over the world basically, and they became erect. And you'll see them out in parking lots now, where they divide certain areas. But the people from India and certain parts of the world, they worship this phallic thing. Later on, in Washington, D.C., they became pointed because they wanted to have that as well as this, which was in the symbolic of the Masonic order, dealing with the eye of the female, or the eternal female, which we know is called the bitch. So this is all Masonic, and that's in the District of Columbia, which we call Washington, D.C. Now, that's the male phallic order, and that's what it used to be, but at the same time, that's where the original stones were. You still find them in many different places, but they suppress them now. Now that's that one. There, that's what I want to show you. Let's see if I can blow it up. Now, This is the one that connects to the Ohio River, and at one time it connected to the Nile when it was in the one land. And in the one land of Pangaea, this area now is the area that exists right now. This area is called T River, or the Great River, and it exists as we speak. And this great river is the second oldest river in man's history. Did you know that all this great history was right around you in the tri-state area? And when you connect to River Bend and you go to a concert in River Bend, this is what connects to the one of the greatest lakes that in quiet the scholars call this the Little Nile. Excuse me? No, that's not Mississippi. Mississippi is the tail end that connected from there. When the Pangaea, the one land mass, that's how it all intertwined, and it looked like a big giant serpent, and the one land mass. But Ayah said that I'm going to separate the land and put 7 streams, which is the 7 great rivers, and now it'll be 7 land shards, which is 7 continents, to represent 7 principal people. This is the second oldest river in the world in man's time, connected to us. So we have history here, people. We just been sitting here and no one has been telling us this. This stone, the blue stone, is a stone that is really a very sacred stone. Now this stone here, when they deal with this stone, they call this stone a what? What's that? Turquoise. Turquoise, right. Now this is what turquoise is supposed to look like. But the problem with it is it's hard to find ones that deal with the ancient. But this is one of the sacred stones and the blue stone of the people. And from this is where they begin to take on where we have the American Native Indian now, where they begin to take on the very bright blue turquoise without black in it. And you don't want the ones without black in it. You want the ones with black in it. And if you can find a stone such as this, that'd be a beautiful thing. All right? Because our symbology was that we were the people of the blue stone, the blue flower, which is called holy, the holly, but we also were the ones that with the sacred priest, they call it a rose. Now, let's see. Go from there. That's back to her. Now, let's see. Where are we there? Okay, back to where we are. Now, back to where we are with this. Now, in these 7 principal people that we're dealing with, we begin to see how these things are happening. So what I wanted to do was to show you that this concept of the Moors that we're dealing with, I began to do my draft, so I don't like showing my draft because when I do my draft, people take it there, but that first page is 100%.